Good morning, everybody. All right, guys. Happy Father's Day to all the moms, to all the dads, to everybody on this day that love kids. You know, black and brown fathers get a really bad rap, but I was reading a research from the Pew Foundation, and the comment was that the highest percentage of dads that are involved in their kids' lives are actually black and brown fathers, which is surprising to everybody because the stereotype or what is put out into the universe is that black and brown fathers aren't really involved with their kids. And Pew Research just found that to be demonstrably false. So, for everybody on this day, everybody out there that love kids, mentor kids, being a father doesn't necessarily mean your biological child. For me, if you're feeding them and putting a roof over their head, they're yours. So, all of you out there loving kids, happy Father's Day. Now, I had an interesting call on the radio show. Now, you guys know I have a radio show on 107.9 in Philadelphia. Every week, I've had it for 12, 13 years. I don't even know how long at this point. Let's see, a long time. And a caller called in, and he was elated. The joy in his voice was palpable. And the joy came from, I guess he had been listening to me for many years. And based on him listening to us or listening to me, he got up the courage to file bankruptcy. And he was just so overjoyed and just so relieved and just so thankful that he had taken that step. And he was calling in to basically say thank you for giving him the courage to take that step. Now, I can tell you there are times when I do this. I've been doing the radio show again for a while. I've been doing this for a while, and I feel like I'm not really making a difference. I'm not really helping anyone. And so when I get that kind of call, it just puts a little bit of a pep in my step. That caller didn't even use us because he didn't realize that we had offices in New Jersey, which, by the way, we do bankruptcies in Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York. We cover, those 4 states. So if you're in a situation where you need to file a bankruptcy or you need to have a conversation about coming up with a plan to get yourself out of this debt, you want to call our offices at 866-96, there it is, 866-96-GM-LAW. We have free consultations. We also have an answering service that will take your call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So this caller called in and he was just so grateful. He was like, Georgette, I am so relieved now that I took that step. I am so beside myself. And it makes someone like me feel good because I feel like I'm actually helping. And so, guys, if you're in debt, you have options. You need to figure out what those options are so that the debt bear, I think last time I referred to the debt that's coming as a bear that was in hibernation, and now he or she is coming out, and they've been hibernating for a year and a half, and now they're hungry, they need to eat. You want to make sure you're not lunch. And so if you know that is coming, come up with a plan. If you don't have a plan to fail. Come up with a plan to get you through that. And it's not through, I'm just going to will it out. No, you actually have to come up with a plan and then work your plan. And for me, the best plan is the one that leaves you with as much money in your pocket as possible. That's the aim. And with your assets intact. Many of you believe that because if you file bankruptcy, you're going to lose your house, you're going to lose your car, no, you lose those things if you don't want them. If you want them and are willing to pay for them, you can keep them. What you're looking to do is get rid of all the unsecured debts. Now, I've had shows in the past talking about the difference between a secured and an unsecured debt. So I'm not going to go into that right now. But the aim is to get rid of the unsecured debt, the personal loan, the credit cards, the deficiency for repossessions, all that good stuff. Your secured debts, which are your mortgages and your car notes, if you want to keep the assets, i.e. the car or the house, and you're prepared to pay for them, you can keep them. Now, in the last, I want to say 6 months, the real estate market has gone absolutely nuts, which makes me nervous. It makes me nervous because I lived through the housing crash of 2008. I was in the hospital for exhaustion because of the crash of 2008. And Lord, I'm 12, 13 years older. I don't know if I have the energy for that madness again. So the market and the valuations of these homes have gone insane. I had a client that had a house valued at X in November. By May of this year, so it was valued X in November of last year. By May of this year, it was valued at $130,000 more. So in 6 months, basically, the house went up $130,000 in value. That's a clue that something is not quite right. So for many of you who had homes and we would automatically put you in a Chapter 7, we're now really scrutinizing the values of these homes, because if there is astronomical amount of equity in there, you won't qualify for a 7. We need to put you in a 13. So that's where we are right now. But the long and short of that is, if you want a home and if you have a home and you want to keep it, as long as you have the resources, the financial resources to keep it, you're going to keep it. We never put you in bankruptcies to lose your homes. That's just not how it works. For those of you who don't have a home but are looking to buy a home, you can file a Chapter 7, eliminate your debt, and you will qualify for one of these crazy mortgages as soon as your case ends. I tell my clients, don't get those homes. As a matter of fact, I'm telling people who ask me, friends who ask me professionally, Georgette, I'm looking to buy a home. Is now a good time? My honest answer is no. You buy low and sell high. If you're in the market to sell a home, sell it now, quickly, as soon as possible. If you're in the market to buy a home, I say step back and let the market cool off. The old adage still remains the same. You sell high and you buy low. So for those of you with homes, you can keep it. For those of you looking to buy a home, you will qualify for a conventional mortgage right after the bankruptcy case is closed and you have the discharge order. I tell my clients, don't buy a home now. And I really tell them, don't buy a home right away after you file the Chapter 7. I say, wait the 2 years until you qualify for an FHA mortgage. That's a mortgage backed by the full faith and credit of your federal government. It's one that's given out, insured by HUD. And because of that insurance and that level of safety provided by the federal government, you will get some of the lowest interest rates in the market. So I always tell you guys, wait the 2 years after filing a 7 and get your HUD mortgage, get your FHA mortgage. But what you don't want to do is wait. Wait in terms of you have this debt, or you have the liability of this debt coming and you want to sit and do nothing. Doing nothing, never a viable option. Doing nothing, never the smartest way to go about this. If you're in a situation right now where you're struggling with your debt, or you know that there's a debt bomb about to be set off, or The bear, your personal debt bear, has woken up out of hibernation because the courts are now open. And so debt collectors are now getting judgments against you. I had a client run into my office last week. There was a levy on his account, and his life savings of $32,000 was levied. And of course, we were scrambling to file an emergency Chapter 13 so that the bank would, not turn over his funds to the creditor. Guys, don't wait for that to happen. Do not come running to our office at the last minute, because it's more expensive for you, because now we're racing against the clock trying to make sure your money gets turned back over to you. It's just a mess. If you know it's out there, do something. Do something as quickly as possible. Don't sit there and let them take your money. That's insanity. The utility bills are coming back online, and they're looking to come take, they want to shut off your electricity because you owe them a substantial balance. You have options. Do not put your head in the sand, because when you do, you leave another body part exposed. Come up with a plan and deal with this. Bankruptcy is seen as this bad thing, as a moral stain or some kind of moral abhorrence. But we had a past president that did it 6 times through his businesses. So come on, people. It is there for you. It is there for everybody. It's not just there for some people and others it excludes. No, it's there as a right for everybody to get their fresh start. So use it, and do not be lunch. Now, I have to pause for a moment. I've been doing bankruptcy and commercial real estate for 20 years, but I'm now a part of a firm, Margolis Edelstein, of 100 attorneys. So now I have the ability for my clients to now handle personal injury claims, to handle Social Security disability application, and personal injury. I have other lawyers a part of my team, or I'm a part of a team of lawyers who have those specialties as well. So if you're a past client or someone in New York, New Jersey, Delaware, and PA that have a bankruptcy issue, you're going to talk to me. If you have workers' comp, if you have Social Security disability, if you have a personal injury or car crash, you're going to talk to me, and I'm going to work with the specialist to get you the best help we possibly can. And I'm grateful of being a part of a team where I can offer more services to my clients, current and future clients. So again, guys, if you have an issue, a financial issue, if you have, workers' comp issue, if you have Social Security disability, if you're a part of a personal injury case, slip and fall. I just had a past client who was burnt over 40% of his body, and our offices are working tirelessly on his behalf. Kid was 26 years old. It's just heartbreaking. He had to be put in a coma to be serviced, and my office is on the case. We're going to make sure that kid gets taken care of, because the trauma, he has a young baby, the trauma and the road ahead towards being well is going to be so long and so arduous. But we're on it. We're here to advocate on behalf of our clients. We're here, if you're in debt, to come up with a plan to get you out. We're here to help. That's what we do. And again, that caller that called in on the radio show earlier today put a real pep in my step, because I know that I'm actually touching lives. I'm actually helping people. Those I know and those I don't know. But this is what I do. I'm here to serve. I'm here to use by whatever way I'm being used, but the aim and the passion is to help. So again, if you want a free consultation with me or one of my attorneys, the number to call is, I always do this wrong, 866-96-GM-LAW, 866-96-GM-LAW. We have free consultations, and I have an answering service that will answer that phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You will get an answer from a person, and you will get a call from someone in my office for your free consultation. Now, it's that time where I have to get ready to go to church, Zoom church. So, as they say in my country, walk good, and I'll talk to you all next week.